Yo, what is up, my dudes? I'm back with another video. I was going to do a Superstar Saga video, but I might save that for next time. Sorry, guys. I know the music is in the background, but you know, sorry. But, what I really wanted to talk about was something that I not really talked about. There are certain times when my gameplay differs from other people's, for some of my games. One of the biggest examples is the Alice in Wonderland DS game. Ever since I was a kid, to attack the enemies, you're supposed to just tap them, right? To actually deal damage. But get this, I actually point my finger on the screen and actually, each time I attack, I actually press up. I don't know why. Ever since I was a kid, I've always done that. Always. I don't change it, even after I had found out about that. I never stopped doing that way to attack, for that game. That is one of the biggest examples, in how it differed from other people's. Another example is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. There was a friend of mine who was doing one of the super bosses, like, 4 years ago or something, I forget when. Probably like, 6 years ago. Or no, I think it was 5 years ago. But he had told me that you can actually deal more damage if you actually press the button at a certain time during the actual battles. But if anyone who knows me with Xenoblade Chronicles 2 will know that I just let the battles actually play out. I don't really press any of the buttons unless I want to do an attack or switch my blades out, right? So, I just never really, I just don't like doing it that way. I know you can deal more damage that way, I just don't really do it that way. Personally, I just do it the way that I like. But, there's another really weird one, that is from my favorite game of all time, Mario Luigi, Brotherhood just sounds really better, personally, but it's called Brothership, might as well just call it that, which is what I do call it now, by the way, because, like, if I do that, people just get confused, so, but back on topic, the Mix Max, I just messed that up. I messed up the name. Max Mix Vortex. Why isn't it called Mix Max? It sounds weird when it's Max Mix Vortex. It sounds so weird. But back on to the actual topic with that attack. You're supposed to actually do both of the bros' fire and ice balls to actually deal more damage. But I really like just doing fireballs. That is one of the things that I will get people probably eventually asking me, dude, you're doing the move wrong. You can actually deal more damage that way, but it's like, I know that, but I don't really care. I don't really care, personally. I like doing it that way, personally. And another game, which I am not this is the one where I'm actually not the only person who actually does this. This is the fourth example, which is actually from this game, actually. Superstar Saga. Many of you might not know this, but in the original, keyword, the original game only, I do not use the advanced bros of the bros moves, because I just never really knew how to do them. Can I do them now? Yes, I just don't really like doing them. But I will say this, in the remake, I do use the advanced bros moves, but that is strictly to the remake. If it's the original, I never use them. I never use the advanced version. I just don't really like it, you know. And this is where I've seen several actual friends of mine, from YouTube, actually, it's really weird because some people actually use them and others are like myself and actually get the advanced bros move unlocked, but they never use it, which is similar to me. That is like the one time where my gameplay actually does, it's actually similar to another person's, which actually brings me to another thing. Leveling up in Mario and Luigi. Most people, including a friend of mine, Luke, actually, shoutouts to him, actually level up actually almost every actual stat. Me personally, and then I found out that another friend of mine, Professor Gaming, who I actually watch because I don't care about spoilers about like bosses and all that. Actually, both of us only upgrade power for the entire game, and I have done this since I was a kid. So, and if I don't do that, it starts to actually bother me when I don't deal enough damage, because it's like I want to really actually deal damage so I can beat the boss. Unfortunately, there is a huge downside to this playstyle, is that later bosses can just one-shot you, which is something that I actually had showed in my actual reclusive video, if I did not have not dropping on, and actually got hit by that Kamile death ball move, death fireball move. If I would have gotten hit, I would have gotten one shot, by the way. That is the main downside by doing it my way, is that later bosses, if you're not leveled up enough, they will just one-shot you. But again, I don't really care. If I get one shot, I'll just keep trying the boss over and over until I win. The biggest example to me actually having proof of this, though, is Blizzard mid-bus, or her mid-bis, I forget. I don't really remember if it's mid-bus or mid-bits. Correct me if it's one or the other in the comments, but on that actual video that's still up on my channel, I actually got one shot by Blizzard mid-bis because, again, I only upgrade power, so it's like, that's just how I honestly like it. And I actually did a defense only run, and I couldn't even finish the game because, again, it really started to bother me. Like, instead of dealing around like 120 damage, I was only dealing around 30 per attack, which really started to get on my nerves to where I actually quit the actual run, actually. Now, did I get actual proof of this? Actually, one of my actual videos, the carrot actual minigame, was at, that video was actually during the actual defense only run. I actually go into detail on that during that video as well, which I also have up on my channel if you are interested. So, but that is going to be it though, guys. I just wanted to tell you guys that that is my main stance on certain games and how I play differently than others. And sometimes other people play the same way. You know, it's really fascinating that I have people who do it differently, and then I have friends play the same way that I do. It's really interesting. But that is going to be it though, guys. I hope you enjoyed. And I would do the actual boss because I can actually do the actual boss, a Superstar Sonic boss in this video. I just want it to be really specific to the topic. So I'll just do that for next time, guys. Sorry if you were looking for a boss fight. I'm sorry. I'll have that uploaded maybe on Saturday. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. I just wanted my video to be very about like a specific topic. So if I don't do both, that is why. I don't want to be like, oh, this is like about a certain freaking a topic, and then get like people telling me that I'm clickbaiting them because I'm doing something completely different. No, I don't want to do that. I want to be specific. I want to have it be specific. I don't like clickbait. I don't like that, you know? But that is another reason why I stopped actually using actual unique thumbnails as well, because if you notice, most of my thumbnails are just basic. They're just like a basic gameplay shots, or shots that I actually make from pictures that I use in my videos. The reason for that is because I want to be specific. I don't want to clickbait someone and say, hey, this isn't even in the actual video. So, you know, because I used to do that. I never got any complaints about it, but I can see why people would have issues with that. So that is another thing that I wanted to get into. Sorry, I just, you know, I get off topic sometimes, but, you know, I try to go back to the main topic. So that is going to be it. I hope you enjoyed my true stories on my different types of gameplay that I do. Which I will most likely always do, you know. That's just how I am, you know. But until next time, peace out, and stay tuned for a boss battle next round, guys. Peace.